Good evening, YouTubers. Tsquare with Tsquare Talk. So we got a package to open. It's not a monster package. It's kind of just something small, something I figured, you know what, we'd convert $100 into this. We'll open it up for you. I'll show you guys what I got. Some pretty cool stuff though. I was really happy with this. So when I was over in Beaumont, he had actually given me, Bull Tide from Universal Coin and Bullion, he had actually given me a magazine. And the magazine basically had an article in it, or an ad, for a great deal that you were limited on. You could only get 2 per person. And I couldn't pass this up. I really couldn't. I ended up getting a couple. My son ended up getting 2 of them. These are my son's right here. I'm going to show you guys the price. Price does change. Obviously, this was ordered 2.5 weeks ago. So the price has changed. But so y'all can see it, because this is kind of crazy, I think. $104 for 2 of them. So 2 of whatever is in this package for $104. Now, to some of y'all, this may not be a surprise. You may already know what it is, because I did mention it right off the bat when it first came out. But like I said, I like to open all my packages on air with you guys. So a couple of y'all may already know what they are. But at $54, I'm sorry, $52, it definitely was a steal in my personal opinion. $52. So right off the bat, someone might be saying, man, it's only 2 Eagles for 2 ounces of silver for $104. But these are the 2021 Eagles. They are the T1s, so they're the first ones of the year. They are MS70s, both of them. So a couple more to add to the collection. I think they're pretty cool. It was a super deal, a super special. Not something that comes up very often. Extremely limited. So I was super happy with that. I don't know if there's any more now, because I had mentioned it when it first came out. But if anybody is interested, they can call Bull Tide. I will put Bull Tide's direct line in the description below, so you guys can call him. Some of y'all know him as Bull Tide. Some of y'all know him as Chris. It is Chris from Universal Coin and Bullion, out of Beaumont, Texas. But a couple more to add to our pile. Only two this week. Kind of been putting most of my money into Doge lately. So my side money has been going to Doge, but I did end up just actually taking Doge, and basically selling my entire position in Doge. And I will show you guys what I'm going to do with the profits. In a future video, I'll show you what I'm going to buy with it. So, but pretty cool. I'm still happy, even if it's only 2 ounces at a time. As the dollar just continues to slide, inflation's starting to show. Some people are going to try to make arguments and say there's no inflation. I don't know how they can even make that argument. I heard one person say, well, yeah, there's no inflation because when I go to the store and I buy clothes, my clothes has gotten cheaper. You can't just base it off food and gas. But when you base it off of clothes, if you're buying designer clothes, you can't really compare that. The needs of the people, food, gas, basic necessities, those are all going up in price. Yes, some designer stuff, some stuff that you may not need is going up too, but a lot of stuff that you don't need that are just wants are starting to trickle down in price. But I believe eventually we will see the price on everything start rolling up, because let's just say hypothetically right now people aren't really buying new cars. Well, that leaves a increase in inventory of cars. So they might come down a little cheaper on the car. However, future cars that are made, if the price of steel, the price of copper, the price of all the metals and everything that goes into the car are working their way up in price, it's inevitable that the prices are going to go up. They're not going to basically be making a car. Let's just say a car costs them, a specific car, for instance. Let's say it costs them $20,000 to make, and they're selling it for, let's say, $30,000. Well, if all of a sudden the cost of all that material goes up to $25,000, $26,000, they're not still going to sell the car for $30,000. They're going to pass that increase in price on to the customer, and people will pay it. And with more money floating around, it's just causing more inflation start to set in. People are spending more. They're buying up stuff. Right now in the country, we have less people working. People working is producing stuff. So when you have a bunch of people producing something, and then they get paid and they make money, and then they get to go buy something that somebody else produced. Well, now look what's going on. We're having people producing less, and yet they're still consuming the same amount. So eventually your reservoirs or your safety net or your back supply starts getting eaten up. And as it starts getting stripped down, we'll start seeing more and more prices rising, inflation. And my thoughts are they're going to be quick, and they're going to look for other things to blame. I mean, look what just happened a little while back. We had the Suez Canal got blocked up, and they're blaming pretty much these shortages now on that. Before the Suez Canal, it was the virus. Nobody wants to take the blame when they've messed up something. And clearly they've messed up the money supply to the point now where they're not even publishing the M1 money statistics. So, I mean, it's inevitable that now they know that they messed up. And, you know, as inflation starts getting even worse and worse, where do you go? I mean, what can you do? Well, there's not really a whole lot you can do when inflation starts really getting out of control, except for really skyrocket interest rates. Because if you skyrocket the interest rates, people will be less apt to borrow money. They'll be less apt to charge stuff on a credit card. They'll be less apt to spend money. So essentially after that, what you'll have is people spending less, paying down their bills, and consuming less. And essentially that will help slow down the inflation. But that's painful. That's painful for a lot of people when that happens. And some people just aren't equipped to deal with that because they don't have a safety net. And the real pain is going to come, I believe, when the inflation sets in. Do I think they'll be able to control it? Absolutely. But do I think it could get bad? I actually just noticed my paper towels that I buy, 50 cents a roll, they actually just went to $1 a roll. I noticed that the chicken that I buy at $3.60 a bag now just went to $4.50 a bag. I noticed a lot of smaller items, you know, $1 items are like $1.10, $1.20. And people just overlook that, and they're like, well, it's only 20 cents, T. It's not the end of the world, dude. But little by little, people are going to get squeezed. And you know what else is going up, though? Gold and silver. Gold and silver has had a really good week this week, and I expect next week to continue on to be good. It has a really bright future, shiny future. And my opinion, it really doesn't matter what kind of silver, but I know everybody has different opinions on that. These are really cool. I mean, I paid more, but you know, from when I ask around a generic, well, I can't say generic, a regular ungraded American Eagle, not graded, right now you're paying about $35 for when people are buying. Now, me personally, I won't pay $35 for a generic, or for an Eagle. I don't want to use the word generic because when people say generic, it usually means generic rounds. But ungraded, you're going to pay about $35. And with this, I mean, I only paid $15 extra, and it has a tremendous addition to it, I guess. It's a 70. There's a limited number of them. So for me, it was worth that little extra. You know, I threw away $100. Think about $100 for a minute. You might go out to eat, maybe you and your spouse, or you and a friend, or you and somebody, and you might be out 60, 70 bucks. Maybe cut out a couple coffees somewhere and bam, you got these. So like I said, it's a small order this week. It's not even anything to really about, but it is 2 more to add to the stack. And I've actually seen in some situations, people like these so much because they're graded, where people will say, hey, I'll give you 2 generic ounces for one of these. And then now you basically got 2 ounces for the cost of $52, and essentially 2 ounces, that's 25 bucks an ounce. So you basically got them at spot, because you're not going to find $25. In fact, lower than spot, because silver's at $25.50 now. You're probably not going to find silver at $25.50. I mean, the cheapest I'm seeing it on average right now is approximately $28, $29 for just random silver. That's $2.50 over spot for, you take what you get. And a lot of times it's not shiny. It's beat up. It's whatever, tarnished. But at the end of the day, silver is silver. It protects your wealth, and in some cases, it's extremely pretty. These are really nice. I like these. So, and it's the last year they're going to make them. So these are the last ones, and they're 70s. So thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Hit that thumbs up, and if you have any questions, put your questions in the comments. If you just have a comment, let me know what you think. You can't go wrong, I think, in my personal opinion. Not financial advice, but you can't go wrong buying precious metals for the long haul. So, and they just look cool. So thanks for watching, everybody, and y'all have a great day.